Hey, gorgeous people. Been a couple of days since I did a live, and I've had a few messages. Some on my TikTok, which, if you want to have me on TikTok, it's Gainer40. Everyone's welcome. Now, I want everyone to know who I am. I'm a nice person. I had a lot of problems a lot of years ago, mainly because of who I was back then. Back then I wasn't nice. I just wasn't. I wasn't grown up. But the reason I've come on today is I want to talk to people about triggers with brain disease. Now, for everyone who's watched my videos, I've got an ACM, which is Arnold Chiari malformation, which basically is a hindbrain hernia. For people who don't know anything about Chiari, it basically means I've got an hernia in the brain. Around the brain. Where mine is, it goes in different places for different people. An interesting fact is that you have tonsils in your head, which I didn't know. Now, one question someone asked me is, at my age, excuse me a moment. You okay, Baba? Sorry, one of my cats wasn't well then. Good girl. Sorry about that. One thing what someone asked me is, when I was diagnosed, what was my fears? I have no children. I have animals who will, God forbid, anything happens, will be taken care of, and I know that. I'm also aware that I could die earlier than I'd want to. Chiari is incurable. There is no cure. And that was the hardest thing for me to accept, I think, because I've always been the type of person that would research for a cure, anything. You manage the symptoms, and people who have died or have Chiari, I'm wording it how it needs to be worded, have died from associated illnesses. I've had a couple of bad days where I couldn't breathe properly, and I struggled, and I was scared. You're scared each time. In your head, you might think, a couple of days you'll be fine, a couple of days. But there's also that little voice in the back of your head that says, is this it? Now, I don't want to scare anyone who has Chiari, because there's so many pluses that I've made amazing friends, and I've learned that there's different types of Chiari. Not a lot of people, nurses, doctors, professionals, not a lot of people know about it, which I think was the hardest thing, because one doctor, when I first said, my own GP, I took the letter and I just found out about it all. I wasn't ready to accept anything, and my own GP, he said it was just headaches. Okay. Chiari is not just headaches. It's painful. You struggle sometimes. You have highs and lows. You have depression. I really, really feel for the children that have Chiari, because there is children out there. I should point out, this is nothing to do with the Chiari. I have a cyst. But for the children out there, I just want to put my arms around them and hug them. because you want to tell more than anything that everything's going to be okay. And you hope and pray they're going to be okay and live a long and happy future. I hope in the future there's going to be a cure. My fears is that I'm going to leave this earth and leave behind the ones that I love to suffer. My mum and dad, because I take care of my mum and dad. And although I have 2 brothers, they have their own lives, their own children, own grandchildren, and I have to so my wish, I hope that my mum and dad go before me. I'm strong. But like I said, I haven't yet come across someone with chiari who actually died of chiari. But the associated illness that can come along with it. I'm very lucky that I'm under a good hospital, a really good hospital, and it's in my city. Many people have to travel around everywhere. Sorry, I'm not one for crying on public platforms. But my family mean the world to me. All of them do. You know, each one of my support system. I touched upon in a video that I was physically abused by my ex-husband. And I'm going to do it in another video because there's a lot to say about it, but people have also asked me if I have such a good family, why I didn't tell them. And that's because I've always been strong and I didn't want to feel weak. I didn't want them to see me as weak. I wanted them to know I was okay. And that's the biggest part of it. And I was embarrassed that I was letting someone hurt me. But not anymore. And that's what I want to say to people. Anyone who's out there, and or not, if you're out there and you're being abused, seek help. Shout it from the rooftops till someone hears you. Go to police, family, friends who you trust. Get out there. I didn't. Excuse me about this piece of air. I didn't. And it nearly ended me. And it impacted on my brother's life, which that's another story. But I very nearly lost my brother as well. And it had that was to do with my ex's family. I have no malice for my ex, I really don't. Because like I said, I was young, he was young. We was kids playing at getting married. I was 16 when I got married. We were playing. Didn't know anything about life. We was doing everything we were supposed to do. We'd also got 4 children living with us that weren't any of our children. Big responsibilities at the age that we were. So I do forgive him. And I hope that he forgives me for my part in things. Because I was at fault as well. He was at fault for the abuse. But I'm afraid I have one failure. I have verbal diarrhea. And I just couldn't shut up. I really couldn't shut up. No matter how many times I was knocked down, I got back up. But I'm not sorry for that, because it's got me to where I am today. I'm strong, I'm independent, loving life, I have beautiful animals who I adore, and I would do anything for. But just give me a moment. On a different note, I'll show you some of the things that I've been doing. I don't know if you can see them. These are resin baubles. Excuse me a moment. This is another one that I've been doing. You can't see the glitter in this one properly, but I'm not finished yet. They've got to be sanded off. But I'm going to do some resin with you next week, and when the things come for it, 2 days time, we're doing a cooking video. So come along and cook with me. If you've got any suggestions of things you want me to cook, then let me know. But the only thing I will say is I would prefer it to be vegan. I can't digest meat properly, so I would prefer vegan. But I still cook meat for members of my family, just not for me. So anyway, thank you. Sorry, one of my cats have woke up, so I'm just going to have to go see to it. But thank you for coming along and listening. Bye, guys.